Hi, my name is Ashton Rufus, and I'm presenting the Mexican War of Independence Part 2. Amongst which social classes did the Mexican War of Independence start? The Indians and Mestizos started the Mexican War of Independence. They were led by Miguel Hidalgo, a Creole priest, and Ignacio Allende, a famous military leader. The insurgency led to many battles between the Spanish forces and the rebels, such as the Battle of Monte de las Cruces and the Battle of the Bridge of Calderon. Creoles feared they would lose their privileges. Changes in social and political structure and economic crisis in New Spain caused discomfort among the Creoles. The Creoles and Spanish army were in fear of losing their property, control of land, and their lives due to the uprising of the lower classes. In 1811, Hidalgo was executed. After the battles, Hidalgo and Allende were captured by Spanish forces and were executed. Jose Maria Morelos took late Hidalgo's place. After Hidalgo's execution, Jose Morelos led the rebellion. He achieved many things in the 4 years of his leadership, such as occupation of the cities of Oaxaca and Acapulco. He brought together the Congress of Chilpancingo to sign the first official document of independence. After a long period of war, Jose was executed by Spanish authorities in 1815. What social class took over the movement after 1820? Guerrilla bands in Mexico. From 1815 to 1821, most fighting for independence came from guerrilla bands, led by Guadalupe Victoria and Vincent Guerrero. The Spanish viceroy issued a general pardon to rebels who laid down their arms. From this moment, the independence movement seemed impossible. Iturbide and Creoles took over the movement after 1820. A successful military takeover in Spain against Ferdinand VII compelled the monarchy to reinstate the liberal Spanish Constitution of 1812, which created a constitutional monarchy. Word of this reached Mexico, and Iturbide thought of this as a threat to status quo and motivated Creoles to gain control of Mexico. In response, he joined forces with Guerrero's insurgents to discuss the struggle for independence. The Plan of Iguala. The Plan of Iguala were 3 guarantees for Mexican independence, proclaimed by Iturbide. The 3 principles were: Mexico would be an independent monarchy governed by a European prince, Creoles would have equal rights to peninsulares, and Catholicism would remain the religion of the land. The Plan of Iguala brought together all factions of Mexico. The Treaty of Cordova was signed. The viceroy resigned when the rebels' victory was clear. Representatives of the Spanish crown signed the Treaty of Cordova, which recognized the Plan of Iguala on August 24, 1821. What lands were originally included in the First Mexican Empire under Agustín de Iturbide? Iturbide crowned himself emperor. On September 27, 1821, Iturbide's army reached Mexico City, and the next day he proclaimed the independence of the Mexican Empire, which New Spain will now be called. On May 1822, Iturbide's army demanded their commander-in-chief accept the throne. On the next day, Congress declared Iturbide Emperor of Mexico. Lands a part of the First Mexican Empire. With Iturbide as emperor, he now ruled lands from northern California to Panama, as well as Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Establishment of a sympathetic junta. On October 31st, 1822, Iturbide dissolved the Congress and replaced it with a 45-man junta, or council. What future Central American countries broke away from Mexico in 1823? The drafting of a new constitution. Before Iturbide was emperor, he was president of a council of regents, which assembled a congress to create a new constitution. Independence of Central American intendancies. During the making of a new constitution, Central American intendancies, places a part of the old viceroyalty of New Spain, declared independence from Spain as well as Mexico. Iturbide ignored their declaration of independence, but once he was overthrown, the intendancies declaration was heard. Central American countries that broke away from Mexico in 1823 include Nicaragua, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and Costa Rica. What happened to Agustín de Iturbide? Struggles in the Mexican Empire. Mexico had no funds to support their country of 4.5 billion kilometers. With so much land, they faced threats of rebellion. Agustín Iturbide, dictator of Mexico. When Iturbide proclaimed himself emperor, he had a similar ceremony to Napoleon's. No one was allowed to speak against him, and he filled the government with corrupt officials. Iturbide proved to be a horrible ruler, unable to stabilize Mexico, and everyone revolted against him. Agustín Iturbide is overthrown. Antonio Santa Anna called for Iturbide's exile. After going to Italy, then England, Iturbide came back to Mexico and was executed on July 15, 1824, when his death was declared by the Congress.